Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or much depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos, the news update. Don't push us to the wall, we will react. Pandef wants Tinubu. Now, the leaders of Niger Delta has warned the federal government, Bola Tinubu and his government, not to take any misguided step to scrap or submerge the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. According to the group, this would certainly have adverse consequences. The group said, look, the Niger Delta Affairs, that's the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, created by Omar Musa Yar'Adua in 2008, should allow to run, that Bola Tinubu and his government should not scrap that ministry. They said that ministry is for the betterment of the youths in the Niger Delta area where the oil is being produced in large and commercial quantity. Now let me quote part of the statement of the group. Quote, the group cautioned that any misguided step towards scrapping or submerging the ministry will create an unfavorable environment with adverse consequences. To this end, the following resolutions were reached at the end of the confab. 1. Expresses great surprise that in the published assignment of ministers to their various cabinet portfolios, there is none designated for the existing Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. 2. Reminds Mr. President that the Ministry of Niger Delta was created specifically to focus on infrastructural development, environmental protection and employment of youths in the oil-rich Niger Delta region, which continues to be greatly impacted by the oil and gas industry and remains the live wire of the national economy. 3. That the ministry, which was created by President Omar Musa Yar'Adua in 2008 and was sustained under his two immediate predecessors, that's Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari, to help advance the cause of the peace in the Niger Delta region. 4. Therefore, calls on Mr. President to urgently address the omission. 5. Cautions that any misguided step towards scrapping or submerging the ministry will create an unfavorable environment with adverse consequences. 6. Further cautions the federal government to desist from tampering with any institution or institutions which, along with the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, have been flagship institution or institutions to ensure peace and development in the Niger Delta region. 7. We are hopeful that the federal government will be properly advised on this matter, even as we reiterate the commitment of the leadership of PANDEF and the people of the region to enduring the reign of peace and stability in the overall interest of country. Unquote. Now, Bola Tinubu has scrapped this ministry and has replaced it with Ministry of Gas. It's obvious there's no need beating around the bush. He has removed the ministry. So this serves well to people like Asad Okobo and Nyesom Wike and others who have been coming up for Tinubu regime. Yes, we have been saying it. The marginalization is real. So they feel that, the Biafrans are feigning marginalization. Now you have seen this, what Tinubu is doing to these oil-rich communities. This ministry was established by Omar Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory to address the issue of youth restiveness, particularly in the Niger Delta area. Yes, because prior to his, his advent as the president of Nigeria in 2007, there have been hostilities, crashes, youth restiveness in the Niger Delta region because of the, government's inability to create a favorable environment for the youth to thrive and do well in business and education and sports and everything. So there were youth sensitiveness and hostilities in that region. The oil companies' inability to take up their corporate social responsibilities and what have you there. So the then government under Omar Musa Yar'Adua established this Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs to address these issues and of course create infrastructural development to bridge the infrastructural gap in that region. As it was clearly stated in the communique, the successive administration, like Goodluck Jonathan and Buhari, the jihadist, they have allowed this ministry to continue to run until this man, the Emiloko, the man who has said it is the turn of the Yorubas to govern Nigeria. It is turn by turn. There's nothing like development in this contraption. Everything is tribe. My religion is our turn, and that is what they have been doing. No meaningful, step being taken to develop the country. Nothing like that. So now, the Nigeria leaders are shouting, they are crying, say, look, Tinubu is marginalizing us, he's intimidating us, harassing us. Look at our Nigeria affairs as above that ministry. Of course, that is it. And so what are we not talking about? This is what we have been saying. This is what the Biafran has been shouting. Mazin American have been saying it. And that is what is still happening. So we are telling the likes of Asari Dokobo and Ezon Wike, they should go to Abuja and tell Tinubu this is what his people are saying. Their people are saying about the Nigeria ministry, because he has scrapped it completely. There's no going back. He has created his own ministries. Tinubu added many ministries to his own to the ministries existing. So he has scrapped the Nigeria ministry, replaced it with the Ministry of Gas or whatever he calls it. So that is it. He is still the Minister of Petroleum, this Tinubu, Minister of Petroleum, okay? Oil in Niger Delta. Buhari that left was Minister of Petroleum, oil in Niger Delta. And that is it. If you go to that Niger Delta, you see the oil wells and oil blocks there that are being owned by the Fulani people, the oligarchs. They are the oil barons. They are the, the oil magnates in that side. Okay? So whereas the people who own the oil are languishing in abject poverty and environmental degradation, the worst you can talk of in the whole of Africa. The level of degradation there in the Niger Delta is the worst. The head that left initiated organic cleanup, though he didn't initiate it by himself. Yes, it was an international organization that directed the government of Nigeria to go to Ogoni and clean Ogoni up. Yes, and they said they have mapped out $2 billion for that cleanup. They didn't do anything there. Go there is still like that. Nothing. Yes, the Ogoni cleanup. So that UNEP report that proposes for that cleanup, forced the federal government of Nigeria to announce that $2 billion for that purpose. Yet, nothing has been done to that effect until the header leaves office. And so Bola Tinubu is there now. The best he can do for Niger Delta is to scrap that Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. So that is what he could do for them. And we are telling them, to open their eyes, to come to reality with what is freedom and what freedom entails. And that is what the Biafrans are seeking, asking.